Deep in the stink and mire of the sewers, the drips of refuse fell on the cold, slime-crusted stone. The chirps of rats and far-off hisses of steam reverberated against the tunnel walls, morphing into unintelligible whispers that pricked the ears. The small beams of moonlight from above reflected off the amber of his feline eyes. He was flanked on either side, half carried along the corridors of the underworld. His two stalwart companions never met his gaze, their faces hooded in black woolen cloaks. He bit down on his tongue until he tasted blood, trying to hold back an outburst of maddened laughter. His claws expressed and retracted violently, his body crying out to flee from his incipient fate. But his mind and soul were already too far gone. Finally, they came to the candlelit chamber, a great stone pentagon bejeweled with severed limbs and ornaments of twisted steel. The two cult guards forced him down on his knees before the central altar, a dull thud as his tired frame hit the floor. As he raised his eyes, a gaunt mouth with crooked teeth spoke to him.
"Are you prepared to meet the Dark Lord?"
Putrid breath poured over the slack face of the tabaxi as the speaker sneered. His eyes brightened, and the dry corners of his mouth drew wide.
"Yes, my life for the great and terrible one,"
he replied weakly. Before he could react, a pallid hand grabbed the initiate by the forehead. Time and space were lost to him as he felt his essence being torn from every cell in his body. He choked and sputtered, no air filling his lungs as his body began to violently flail. A great host of hooded figures chanted unholy words around him as he experienced every joyous memory being torn from him. When it felt as though the infernal weight would crush every iota of his existence, it all suddenly stopped and went black. Moments of deafening silence passed, until his form arose. Now empty of all but devotion, there he stood. What he was before, he shall never be again, for he is now and forevermore known only as a zealot.